Fear is more expensive than a luxury car. That's not hyperbole. It's not motivational poster talk. It's the truth. And I'm not talking about the emotion. I'm talking about what fear actually costs you: money, time, relationships, opportunities, your potential. I remember that night I was sitting at my desk around midnight staring at my laptop. Months of planning, hours of research, and zero action. My brain was running the same loop. You're not ready. You don't have enough experience. What if it fails? Who do you think you are? And in that moment, I realized something that changed everything. The biggest barrier to my success wasn't my market. It wasn't the economy. It wasn't luck or timing. It was me. It was my paralysis, my fear, my self-doubt masquerading as being realistic. That night cost me money. Months of hesitation cost me 6 figures. Money I could have made if I'd just started despite the fear. If you're watching this right now, you have an idea. Maybe it's a business. Maybe it's a project. Maybe it's a move or a conversation or a leap you know you need to make. And right now, there's a voice in your head telling you not to. That voice is costing you too. Today, I'm going to give you 5 mental shifts, not motivational fluff, but actual frameworks that I used to break through that paralysis. These work because they're grounded in how your brain actually operates, not in wishful thinking. Let's be brutally honest about something. The difference between people who build something and people who don't isn't talent. It's not intelligence. It's not even luck. The difference is this. One group takes action. The other makes excuses. I was the king of excuses. I had them organized like a filing system. I don't have the right equipment. I need to learn more first. The timing is terrible right now. I should wait until conditions are perfect. Here's what I discovered. Perfect conditions never arrive. They're like a mirage. The closer you get, the further they move away. I wasted months waiting. Months. And then one day, I realized I had a smartphone. That was it. I didn't need a $5,000 camera. I didn't need the perfect studio. I had what I needed to start. So I did. That first video was terrible. The lighting was garbage. The sound was muffled. But I posted it anyway. And you know what happened? People connected with it. Not because it was polished. Because it was real. Because it showed I was willing to start imperfectly. That single imperfect action opened more doors than a year of planning would have. Here's the physics of this. Action creates momentum. Momentum kills fear. Fear dies in motion. Your action. Item, stop reading. Stop planning. Right now, write down one single thing you've been putting off. One thing, not something huge. Something you can actually do today. Were you supposed to send that email? Send it now. Research one piece of information? Do it. Make that call? Make it. One small action. That's the dose of momentum your brain needs to start believing you can do this. I watch this happen constantly. Someone has a dream, so they decide to become an expert first. They read the books, listen to every podcast, take the courses, watch the tutorials. They're drowning in knowledge, waiting for that magical moment when they feel qualified enough to start. I have news. That moment never comes. When I was younger, I thought I had figured it all out. I was confident. Maybe too confident. Then I made a massive mistake, the kind that costs money and pride. It was humbling, embarrassing. But it taught me something no book could, what actually doesn't work. That's when I learned the difference between theoretical knowledge and the kind of knowledge that matters, the kind you earn through real experience. The most successful people I know aren't the smartest. They're the humblest. They know there's always more to learn. They ask questions. They ask for help. They admit when they don't know something. And that mindset, that openness, is actually What protects them from fear? When you accept that you won't know everything before you start, something shifts. The fear of not knowing enough loses its power, because you've already decided you're going to learn as you go. Your action item: adopt what's called a growth mindset. It works like this. When you make a mistake, don't say, "I'm a failure." Say, "Great. Now I know what doesn't work. What's next?" When you hit something you don't understand, get curious instead of scared. Curious people figure things out. Scared people freeze. Every mistake is a paid lesson. Every challenge is tuition in the school of actually doing something. That reframing changes everything. Here's something I need to say directly. If you don't believe in yourself, this won't work. Not because the advice is bad, but because you won't follow it. You'll find reasons why it doesn't apply to you, why you're different, why you're not ready. We all have that voice. That small, quiet, poisonous voice. Who are you to do this? You're not qualified. You're not smart enough. You're not experienced enough. You're going to fail, and everyone will know you're a fraud. That voice has a name. It's called imposter syndrome. And I want you to know something that might shock you. Everyone has it. Serena Williams has it. Maya Angelou had it. People who have already won at the highest levels still feel like frauds sometimes. If they felt it, feeling it is not a sign you should stop. It's a sign you're human. But here's what separates people who let that voice win and people who break through it. Evidence. Belief isn't built on motivation or positive thinking. It's built on proof. Small proof, but proof. Start small. Set goals you can actually achieve. Not some massive, nebulous vision, but real, concrete, achievable targets. Finish that blog post. Make that call. Complete that small project. Publish that video. Whatever it is, do it. And when you do, pause. Don't rush to the next thing. Actually acknowledge it. I did that. I said I would do it and I did it. Small wins are the currency of confidence. You do that 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, and something shifts inside you. That voice gets quieter, and belief gets louder. Henry Ford said it perfectly. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Your mindset determines your reality, not the other way around. Your action item. This week, set one small, achievable goal. Then achieve it. Tell yourself the truth about what you accomplished. Let that be the evidence that builds your belief. We live in the age of information overload. Some people call it infobesity, information obesity, and it's a disease. You can learn anything instantly. Want to know how to start a business? Google it. 5 million results. Want to know the best marketing strategy? YouTube it. Watch 1,000 videos. Want a course on it? Pick from 10,000 options, and it's paralyzing us. Because gathering information has become the socially acceptable substitute for taking action. We tell ourselves, I'm preparing, I'm learning, I'm getting ready. But what we're really doing is hiding. We're calling cowardice research. This is called analysis paralysis, and it's one of the most expensive mental habits you can have. I fell into it hard. Weeks, literal weeks, of reading every article about starting a business, every blog post, every study. I thought if I gathered enough information, I'd be ready. Instead, I got more confused, more overwhelmed, and more paralyzed. Here's the truth that changes this. You learn more in 10 minutes of doing than in 10 hours of research. Real learning happens in practice. It happens when you hit a wall and have to figure out how to get over it. It happens when you're committed and you have no choice but to figure it out. Your action item. Set a research deadline. Give yourself one afternoon, one morning. Gather the basic information you need. Then close the browser. Put the books away. Stop consuming and start executing. As you do the work, You'll learn what you actually need to know. You'll figure things out in context, where they matter. You won't learn to swim by reading about swimming. You learn to swim by getting in the water. This is the end game. Everything comes down to this. Growth does not happen in your comfort zone. It happens on the edge of it. Everything you want, your goals, your potential, your future, is sitting just outside where you feel comfortable right now. And the only way to get there is to walk into discomfort. I was terrified of public speaking. The thought of standing in front of people made my stomach turn. But I knew it was necessary, so I did it, constantly, over and over. What happened? It got easier. Not because I'm naturally brave, but because I practiced discomfort until it became normal. I had a client, quiet guy, total introvert. The thought of networking made him want to disappear, but he knew he needed to build relationships. So he went to an event. One event. He was miserable for the first 2 hours. But then he had one conversation. That conversation led to another, and that person became one of his biggest business partners. He stepped into discomfort, and it changed everything. Here's the rule. If it scares you a little, you probably need to do it. Not the things that are genuinely dangerous or unethical, but the things that scare you because they're new. That scare you because you might fail. That scare you because you might succeed, and that's somehow even more terrifying. When you feel that discomfort, that's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're growing. Your action item. This week, do one thing that scares you. Post that thought. Make that uncomfortable call. Apply for that opportunity. Reach out to someone you're intimidated by. You will feel discomfort. That's the point. That's literally the price of progress. And on the other side of that discomfort, that's where everything changes. 5 mental shifts. Action over perfection. Humility and constant learning. Self-belief built on small wins. Execution over endless research. Discomfort as the sign you're growing. Everyone who has built something real, something meaningful, started in fear. Everyone. But they didn't let fear be the deciding factor. They felt the fear and moved forward anyway. That night, I was sitting at my desk, paralyzed by doubt. That was my choice point. I could have kept waiting. I could have kept making excuses. I could have told myself I'd do it someday. But I didn't. I picked up my phone. I filmed one video. It was terrible, but it was real. That one imperfect action cost me nothing except the comfort of inaction. And it gave me everything I have now. You have a choice point too. Right now, today. You can keep waiting, keep researching, keep making excuses, keep telling yourself you're not ready. And that choice will cost you. It will cost you money, time, relationships, and the version of yourself you could become. Or you can feel the fear and do it anyway. Here's my challenge to you. Don't watch this video and feel pumped for 5 minutes and then go back to your normal life. That's not how change happens. Right now, identify your one biggest fear about starting. Write it down, comment it below. Tell me what's holding you back, whether it's fear of failure, not feeling qualified, information overload, or discomfort. I read every comment, and I will help you identify your first step. If this resonated with you, subscribe. This channel is built for people who know they're capable of more, but are tired of their own mind getting in the way. We're going to tackle the real stuff, the psychology, the strategy, the mindset shifts that actually work. Stop letting fear be the most expensive thing you own. Start today. I'll see you in the next one.